always get 100%.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Nancy Allard, and you're watching and listening to the Alert Factor. Here at the Alert Factor, we discuss everything. We talk about real estate and we discuss luxury lifestyle. We discuss living in your purpose, following your dream, mindset, because of course you can't live that luxury life of abundance with the wrong mindset. So we discuss that too. So to find me, I'm at the Nancy Alert on Instagram, on Facebook, the Alert Factor, and on LinkedIn, it's Nancy Alert. So Nancy Alert on LinkedIn, the Nancy, Thee, Nancy Alert on Instagram, and the Alert Factor on Facebook. And also please remember, please send us in your questions, and I'll make sure I answer your questions on the next episode of the Alert Factor. I am a real estate agent and a licensed insurance broker in Maryland, Virginia, DC, New York, Florida, Illinois. So if you're looking to invest in real estate, you're looking to, for the first time, you've always wanted to buy a multifamily unit, I am your multifamily expert. I can show you how to create passive income and generational wealth by leveraging multifamily units and life insurance products. So, anything real estate and luxury lifestyle and mindset. So, today I'm extremely excited for our guest. Our guest is Dr. Maureen McIntosh Alberts. Dr. Maureen,
Hey,
welcome to the Alert Factor.
well, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so happy for you to be here chatting with me. And so, Dr. Maureen, transitional leadership coach. What is a transitional leadership coach?
Transitional mindset leadership coach. Yeah.
Yes, transitional mindset leadership coach.
Right. What is, okay, the word transition, as it suggests, is that in life we are transitioning from one season of our lives to another, from one challenge to another. So we might be transitioning out of singlehood into becoming a married person, transitioning from marriage into becoming single again, transitioning from marriage into becoming single because of divorce or because of death.
Mhm,
Like in my case, I
mhm,
transitioned from divorce
mhm,
to widowhood, right?
mhm.
And then
Right.
you can be transitioning out of being working uh, into becoming into retiring.
Mhm.
You can be
So
transitioning.
we're always transitioning.
Exactly. So these are examples of how our lives are transitioning from being sick to well, or from being well to being in a period of illness.
So you would say from, I guess, from the time we are born, we are transitioning. We're transitioning from being babies, being totally dependent on our parents, into childhood, learning how to deal with ourselves, and transitioning into teenage, adult, elderly, death,
That's
right?
correct.
And in between, there's the life struggles or the life blessings.
That's correct. Absolutely. Nobody escapes life transitions, even if it's just growing old.
Hmm. So then I would guess that the the book, the anthology that you wrote, with, I believe, is 15 other authors,
Mm-hmm.
transforming pain into purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That is another transformation, because that is dealing with trauma, adversity, life challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you decide to put together an anthology with 15 women, 15 authors who each and every one of them had a form of trauma, adversity, life challenges that most people would crumble and just not wake up from. What made you decide to put those women together, including yourself, to write excuse me, transforming pain into purpose?
So, in over the 25 years that I've been in organizations, whether it be spiritual organizations or being in corporate America, corporate Caribbean, we say corporate America, corporate Caribbean because I transitioned out of the Caribbean into the United States.
So
I
did I.
I realized that our mindsets would either when we're going through transitions in life because of the many that I've been through two divorces and a death of my grandmother, death of my grandson. These experiences taught me a lot in life. As a matter of fact, they contribute to the wisdom that I garnered as a result of having gone through them. Also, I realized that my faith in God um, had me view life transitions differently. I see life transitions as a gift to us. If we don't have them, we don't become the best and highest version of ourselves. And I realized that a lot of people, or a lot of women who want to publish or they want to tell their life stories, and I always say our life stories are the greatest gift or the most valuable asset that we have been given, because through our life stories we can pass on to the next generation the wisdom that we gathered so that they don't have to struggle as we did. And we know that all of the life stories that we read in books, that we read in the Bible, that we read in all of our religious or spiritual experiences, they serve to make us into the highest and best version of ourselves. But we could become consumers of people's experiences and not be contributors to the life experiences, meaning that we tell our story as much as we consume, and we become better by other people's stories. So it's the reciprocity. We receive from others, we give to others, and so we make the world a better place to live in. And that's why that's why I teamed up with these ladies to collaborate and sharing the stories so that they can contribute to adding value and to changing lives in the world.
Okay. And so, I mean, it is in a book, and so it's not like you're going to be divulging any secrets. So, can you just give us briefly um, one transition that an author in the anthology transforming pain into purpose um, went through, how they started, and you know
Yeah,
the
yeah, very good question. So all the 15 stories are
Mhm.
powerful stories, and we have women from across the globe, from as far as Ireland to Bermuda to South America to the Caribbean. One of them that I will pick out is a very good friend of mine, and she tells a story about how she started off in corporate America in corporate Caribbean. And
Mhm.
as a young pastor's daughter, she got married, and she got married to a man of the same faith. And when they were going through their courtship, it was great. When they got married, parents were very excited. I mean, father and mother, being pastors in the church, very excited. All her friends excited for her. And voila, she got married and has a first child, and realizes that the husband didn't want her to go back to her corporate job. Now, she did not, as she says, sign up for that. And decided, okay, this is not going to work. And because they were now not aligning with their values concerning
Working around.
raising children, she had to she a series of things occurred, including abuse, which got worse and worse, and she had to get out of the marriage, and still today she is single, but she was able to realize her purpose, and she's living a purpose because she was willing to stand up for her own values, which is I raise children, but I also want to contribute to the to corporate, to use my gifts and my talents, which is not only being a woman and raising children, but also being able to do well in the workplace. So she transitioned out of being married into singlehood.
Right, exactly. And for that, so people know that the pain and the trauma and the adversity wasn't just that she didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom and wife and whatever. Um, it was some abuse there as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. It
Absolutely.
was some abuse there, and that's what she transformed from being, I would say, dependent, submissive, um, and trying to be that perfect wife and give him everything he wanted to. I'm gonna transform my life into what it is meant to be. I
Yeah.
am not meant to be abused. I'm not meant to just sit at home. I have a child. I can take care of him or her, and I can also have a career. And I don't have to be at home and be abused verbally or physically.
Right, right. Because it's not a question of either or. It could be a
Mhm.
question of both and. She can be
Exactly.
both a mother and a wife. Well, three things: both a mother, a good wife, and also add value in the marketplace. And that's what a number of women find themselves having to choose between one
Choose.
or the other. We don't have to choose one or the other. We can have everything if we want, if we would structure our lives in such a way that we can enjoy the best of what we have been given, which is our gifts, our talents, the mother, to add value, to become entrepreneurs like yourself, to become bankers, being in the stock market, all of that. We need the men out there need the women to help them to complete who they are. And
Right.
when we if we stay at home, then what happens? Our gifts are hidden, and that's not what we want.
Right.
Mhm.
And so, Dr. Maureen, what I would ask is, as a doctor and as a businesswoman and a coach who focuses on supporting women who have overcome or going through different trauma, adversity, and challenges in life, what is one of the, the excuse me, what is one of the main things that you would say that is needed for that woman to transform
Uh,
from whatever it is that they have going on?
I would answer that, and that's a very good question. And people ask me that question all the time. And I answer questions based on my own experience and the success that I've seen that using a particular strategy or a principle uh, will bring me. So I'm a principle centered coach, principle centered, value centered coach. Now, the values that I encourage my clients to align themselves with are mostly spiritual values, or spiritual principles. For example, the difference between a principle and a value is that some values are not aligned to spiritual principles. For example, truth is a principle, and some people would say that truth is one of my values. So you have a truth value and a principle, a spiritual principle value, which align. So I would say faith for me is one of my biggest personal value.
Mm.
And faith is also a value, is a principle that without faith, it is impossible to get anything done in the world.
Right.
And we all use faith in everything that we do until we start doubting. So
Right.
I would say the most important thing is one, have faith in yourself, place your values on the principles that bring lifetime results. and align your principles and your values so that you can become the highest and best version of yourself, not compared to anyone, but the highest and best version of yourself, because my highest and best version would be different to yours. I may
Exactly.
I may value living a life of austerity, which helps me to realize the certain potential in my life. And you and I, as I know you, Nancy, we value, we we look at austerity as something that we want to run away from. We want abundance. We want abundance in every area of our lives. Abundance, for example, for you is investing in real estate, investing in multiple
Unit.
units, and leave a legacy behind for your estate. You may not have children, but leave it in your estate, and your
Right.
estate can be the university that you went to, or the community
Church.
that you grew up in, or the church. Exactly. So that's our value. It's not to say that austerity is not a good value, but it's a value for those people who see it as valuable. So I say to my clients, understand what you value. Be sure that your value is aligning with a principle that is unbreakable, because principles are unbreakable. Truth, faith, honesty, and integrity. These are all principles that if you try to break them, they will break you. So,
Right.
so we need to make sure that we know what we're aligning our lives with. And it's important that, for me, faith, truth, hard work, and honesty, and respecting others, those are the values that I see are the seeds that open the door to me to get access to places that I otherwise would not have gotten access to, particularly when we honor other people. So that's what I would say.
Thank you for that. So, what I'm hearing is, and which is what I truly believe in this, that you have to have value, standards, principle. You have to know who you are or where you want to go
Mm-hmm.
in order for you to design the standards, the principles, and the values that will get you there. And
Yes.
that all has to do with also changing your mindset, how you think, how you look at things, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's where I start working with my clients. I
And
start
which
with
brings me
mindset.
to your
Yes.
first book, uh, Live Life from the Inside Out. And I see there's a theme here, Dr. Maureen,
Hmm.
that, and I know I call you Dr. Maureen, not so much, I
Yeah.
call you Dr.
Thank
Maureen.
you.
So, Dr. Maureen, I see that there's a theme here, living life from the inside out, transforming your pain into purpose. So, I see you definitely a transformational mindset coach, which means that you're working all from where we're supposed to start, from the inside with us, whereas most people start on the outside, which that is just fluff. And you can't really start from the outside to get anywhere. You have to start from the inside out. So, what brought you to writing the book, Live Life from the Inside Out?
My life experiences taught me that outside in living, if you live your life from the external environment, you are constantly having to change because the environment changes. What I mean by that is people change,
Mhm.
situations change,
Yes.
um, people's lives change. And if we're basing if that is the anchor that we're using in order to live our lives, then we're constantly changing. Inside out living, I say there is a divine coach, there's a power that has been given to us by God. So we need to tap into that internal guidance system that God has placed within each of us. It's about listening to that still small voice that directs us towards our divine potential, and that will give us true fulfillment. Now, when we go on the inside and we find that compass, who I call the divine coach, the divine coach doesn't look at things from the inside. We say in religion that people look at things from the outside, which is the environment. God looks at things on the inside because he knows
Inside.
it's placed inside each one of us. So if we can tap in to that inner power,
Mhm.
as I've found, which and the inner power is values again, like truth and honesty. Is it true? Is it real? Is it honest? Is it ethical? All of those values come from the inside. You may say, well, did our parents have a part to play in the values that are instilled on the inside? Sure, they do. But I believe in there are two principles: tabula rasa, which means that we come to this world with a clean slate, or we come to this world already with our purposes on our slate, and the authority figures that are placed in our lives nurture those, the purposes and the divine potential that we have on the inside. So tapping into that potential is, as somebody said, I think one of my coaches said, if you don't go within, you will go without. If you fail to go
Exactly.
within, you will go without in your
It's
life.
almost like saying if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to have standards, you have to have principles, you have to
Mm-hmm.
have values.
Mm-hmm.
And for most of the world, we live mostly from looking at the outside. We're looking and we're judging from the outside. It's like I tell people, you cannot judge your insides based on somebody else's outsides, because that's all you're seeing. You're just seeing what they're portraying, what they're presenting to you, which is their outside. You have no idea what is going on the inside, but you want to beat yourself up. You want to judge you what you have based on what you see, you think they have.
That's true. It's true. Exactly. And you don't have the same potential and the same gifting as each person. Each one of us is gifted with something different, and each one of us approach life differently. And so, because of how we approach life and our value systems, we get results. You're watching the results, but you're not asking people about the process that they go through and about the values that they stand for in order to get to where they are.
Exactly. And what they do, what their routine is, what they have to do every single day to
Hmm.
get what they have. And
Hmm.
they say rich people and satisfied people, they do things that poor people and people that are in misery refuse to do on a daily basis, on a routine basis. So if
Hmm.
you don't want to do it and you can't do it, you can't get to that part. And I do want to get more into that and talk a little bit about real estate, because Dr. Maury, you were both a realtor and a life insurance agent. And that's another reason why I have you on here, so we could talk about life changing real estate and all of that. We will take a short break and be right back. You're watching The Alert Factor.
ICABA, ICABA, stands for the International Career and Business Alliance. And basically, it's really about building, activating relationships that grow wealth.
What is Akaba doing? Akaba is putting you in an environment where you can rub shoulders, you can actually talk to wealth creators, to entrepreneurs who may look like you, who may come from circumstances like you, who may come from an environment like your environment. And then once you go ahead and grab that baton, you might say, well, this is possible. This individual over here did it, and now I can do it. So Akaba is raising our level of vision, and they're doing a fantastic.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaw, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaw explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're watching and listening to the Alert Factor. I'm Nancy Allard, and today our guest is Dr. Maureen McIntosh. Welcome back, Dr. Maureen.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here with you, my friend.
Yes. So we're talking about transforming in every aspect in life, transforming from pain, from adversity, from trauma, just life experiences. And you and 15 other authors, you put together an anthology called Transforming Pain into Purpose. What would you say is the common thread between the 15 authors in Transforming Pain to Purpose?
I would say the common thread is that we have taken our life's challenges and our life's adversities, and we have turned them into purpose. The common thread is that each one of us has been able to make something of the challenges that we experienced.
So would you say hope,
resilience, hope, and renewal? Yes.
Okay. So that was the first one. and now you're working on part two, or what do you call it, the second edition of Transforming Pain into Purpose. How many authors will you have in the second edition?
Yes, and I will have 15 like the first one.
15.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
so are you looking for authors? And if you are, what are some of the criteria, and how can the audience reach you if they're interested, or they're looking to, even if not to be in the anthology of Transforming Pain into Purpose, you're a publisher as well, so you can get them published in any book that they're looking to write, correct?
Yes.
All right,
So
so the people that you're looking for the second anthology.
I want to have people who have gone through something, transformation in their lives, like they have had a loss, they have had some sort of transformation experience, and out of that experience, they have seen that it didn't make them bitter, but it made them better versions of themselves, and that their stories can provide hope and also practical steps on how to turn pain into their greatest purpose. So these are women who they're leaders, most of them, they're leading or are aspiring to lead. They're either going through something right now and they're learning as they go along so that they can share the journey as they're going along, what they're learning, what they're excavating from inside of them so that they can share it real time. Like, for example, one of my current co authors, she's going through, today is the anniversary of her son being murdered by the police here in DC. And she said to me, Dr. Maureen, I have not yet gone through the transformation. I'm being transformed.
No.
Can I do this? I said yes, because there are people who will be going through the same thing as you are right now. And based on how you're going through it and your faith, if you share that with them, they will have a different perspective, or they will be encouraged, and they will see you as someone who gets you, who gets them, who understands what they're going through. And they might reach out to you based on the ministry that you have right now in order that
Right.
you're able to mentor or coach them.
Because they may be one or two steps behind where she is in her process.
Right.
So she will be able to help them get to the step that she's at, whereas others are also helping her go beyond the step where she is right now.
That's correct. That's correct. So the ones who are going through and the ones who might tomorrow be going through, the book is a guide. So we're looking for those people who, first of all, they know they can do it. Secondly, they don't know how to do it, but they need someone to guide them through, like
Mhm.
myself. They are vulnerable. They're willing to learn how to share their stories,
Yeah.
and willing to be in a community of like-minded thought leaders who can help mentor them. And when they come out on the other side, if they're looking for transformation to continue in their lives, they will get into this group, and then these thought leaders together, they can hold each other accountable for the goals of transformation or to get better, whatever it is. So this is a safe space for them to be able to not only write their story, but to share their transformational stories. And if they're willing to have people share their stories globally, they feel that they have a global message. This is a place and this is the anthology for them.
I'm glad you said that, because one of the things I like about what you're doing, it's not only that you can help someone publish, anybody, there's lots of publishers, but do they do what you do? So Dr. Mori not only helps you publish your book, she's got the editors, she helps you put it all together on paper, she helps you with the marketing, she helps you be a how to present what you're doing, because now as an author you'll be called to speak in a different thing. So she helps you become an effective speaker. All of this is part of being in an anthology. So if you've ever thought about writing a book, but you don't know where to start, an anthology might be the place to start, because you're writing a chapter in a book with 15 other authors. You get to collaborate, you get to help each other, You get to walk through this process with a coach helping you change your mindset. Yes, I'm a believer, Dr. Maureen. I'm a believer in what you do. I
And then,
think you're doing a fantastic job with helping women.
well, thank you. And then, of course, we make them into professional keynote speakers because we have one of the most, I suppose, experienced, I can say, John Maxwell, professional keynote speaker that works with us in order to help us to share our stories on stages all over so that we can transform, we can impact, influence, and then make money too. So it's impact,
Exactly.
influence, and income, all three together, the three I's.
I love it. I love it. And so, if someone is interested in writing a book, being part of the anthology, how can they get to you, Dr. Maureen?
Well, easy. I People can pick up the phone and call me, but you can also set up a calendar. You can text me 703-975-0539. I'm a text lady and I answer my texts immediately. And then I'll send you my calendar link so that you can schedule a time to come chat with me. Very easy. And or if you want to go the harder route, you can go to my website, epictransformationalcoachingacademy.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but text me 703-975-0539. Then we will be easily able to set up an appointment
To transition to those other.
to transition into getting access, easy access to me. That's right.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, Dr. Maureen just give you the best way to get in contact with her is by texting her. If
Mhm.
you missed it, you can reach out to me. I'll connect you with Dr. Maureen. So now, Dr. Maureen, so
Yes,
now
ma'am.
you are a transformational mindset leadership coach, but
Yes.
you also a agent. You're also a life insurance agent, and as you know, I'm a real estate broker and I'm a life insurance broker as well. And what we have going on right now in the world,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say if we're looking at entrepreneurs and we're looking at a lot of women in the entrepreneurial space, the business space, the speaking space, the IT space. We're doing all of it, right?
Right.
What would you say about real estate right now as real estate investing, the real estate market?
I would say that in any transition period in our lives, people need homes to live in. Unless you want to become a nomad and you want to live in tents.
Right.
Well, and even a tent is a
Mhm.
home.
Right.
So the market is always good. It's always good to invest. Of course, you have to do your due diligence and look for the more lucrative investing opportunities where your ROI would not be break even or losing, but your return on your investment will be anything above
Mhm.
15-20% because the stock market doesn't really give you 15 or 20% on your investing, right? 15-20% is like about 1.2, 1.1 a month, 1.2% a month.
Right.
Real estate can give you, for example, if you were investing in tax deeds or tax
Mhm.
liens, you can get, like, for example, in Texas, 24% on your investing. And
Or
what you
80% in Maryland, right?
18% in Maryland or Georgia. So that's one of the best kept secret. But the question is, what would I say about the real estate market? Some of the richest, wealthiest entrepreneurs out there, they're real estate investors like myself. I mean, I've
Mhm.
invested internationally and invested globally because I'm a world traveler. And the one thing you have to be careful about investing internationally is the instability of the currency that you're going to invest in. But the United States is a good place to look for good investment deals. And I would say that Nancy is one of the people that you can check with if you want to know how to invest in multifamily units so that you can build generational wealth. And I believe in real estate. I've sold real estate. I've been an
And you're
insurance,
very good at it.
and I have had many, many. I can show you some of the the medals that I've won with Prudential, Carruthers, Long and Foster. I was one of the top agents, top sales, top lister, because I worked. My work ethic was work hard. But here's the thing: I was a relational real estate agent.
Say
Relation.
that again. Say
I
that again. Say
I
that
was
again.
relational real estate agent. I turned real estate into a service to add value to families. They want to know, because when people buy a home, especially the people that I worked with diplomats, and I also worked with black and brown people. The biggest investment, the largest investment that somebody can make, Nancy, is in real estate.
Exactly.
Yes. So when they call you to help them to either list their property or to sell it for them,
Mhm.
if somebody's getting divorced, let's say you came to a family that's getting divorced and they're trying to divide up their holdings, their assets. The wife might be in pain. The husband might be in pain. The fact that they are selling that property in that particular situation has brought them a lot of pain. If you're not a person that is insightful enough or sensitive enough to see what's going on in that family, you'll just make that into a one-off transaction, and they will never see you again or tell anybody anything about you. But if you're a relationship real estate agent, that you're not only wanting the contract and then once you get to the closing table it's over. If you can tap into what's going on with these people, you will become the real estate agent to them for life, their
Exactly.
children, for their friends, and especially if you're ethical with it, because there's so much lack of ethics going on in the world that people will tell you things and they don't deliver. I say to every real estate agent out there, or every person looking for an agent, look for an agent that is ethical, look for an agent that is committed to you all the way through, and look for an agent that will give you a good experience as she takes you through the process, like Nancy takes you to the process from listing or searching for the house until you get to the end. And if that's one, and if you're looking to build wealth, and if you're looking to build generational wealth, you shouldn't only purchase real estate to live in, but you should invest in real estate to so that you can experience the true value of the American dream, which is basically to invest in real estate.
All right then. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted so much for you to be on the show, because not only are you a fantastic coach, but you understand real estate, you understand the life insurance part of it, you understand how to create passive income and generational wealth. And on the life insurance part, what would you say? Because I always tell people, here I am, and I love what you said about being a relationship agent, right? Because my job, what I do is I build relationships. I don't make connections. Most realtors make connections. That's why they
Mhm.
have to look for a client every day. I
Mhm.
build dynamic relationships, so I get referrals every day. So I don't have to go out in the streets and look for a client every day. And that's the difference between making connections and building a relationship
That's
and showing what your value is. Most agents don't know what their value is. They don't know what their value proposition is. And mine is me. And
yeah,
mine is me. I'm my value proposition, because
that's
no
true.
other realtor is going to bring to the table what I'm bringing to the table. Like with the life insurance product, I show my clients how to buy the larger assets, how to acquire the largest asset. And with the life insurance part, I show them how to protect it. So, what are your thoughts on mortgage protection?
Well, mortgage protection, most people must have heard about mortgage protection, or probably not. If our listeners are not aware of what is mortgage protection, it's insurance. I remember when my husband passed away. First of all, let me just go one step back. When we purchased this home, we immediately got some letters in the mail encouraging us to buy mortgage protection insurance. And We thought that that was getting a mortgage and get the insurance that covers fire and hazards and things like that. So we thought, well, this doesn't make sense. We already have insurance. But that was not mortgage protection. So every time the letters came, I discarded them.
Mhm.
When he passed away, you know what? If we had gotten that mortgage protection, I would
The
not
house would have
have
been paid in full.
it would have been paid in full. So insurance, mortgage protection is immediate wealth.
Hmm.
Immediate
Yes.
you're actually setting up yourself for immediate wealth. And those people who understand how insurance works, they use that in order to be able to set up wealth for when they're gone.
Right, exactly. Because let's say you had bought your house for $800,000 and you got,
Which I did almost, right?
oh, okay, good. And then well, yeah, and you got a mortgage protection for $800,000. When your husband passed, you would still have the house and you would have gotten a check from the insurance company for $800,000. So now you have choices. You can pay off the house, which I don't recommend, as long as you can afford to pay for it. Buy a building, buy another investment property, start a business because you got $800,000 to do that with, plus you have the house. And that's how you start to.
Lots of people don't understand how money works in the United States or how money works at all. They think, well, if people would spend money on perishable products like cars and
Yeah.
boats and things like that. But real estate, buying real estate is it's tied, of course, to the stock market and to our economy, and it fluctuates the way the economy fluctuates in the United States. But we say in real estate world, it's location, location, location where you buy. So if you have a good real estate agent that is also an investor in real estate, like Nancy is, she will be able to tell you, I'm not just trying to. It is the truth, okay?
Right, right, right. It's not
No,
just what they say theory. It's not
yeah,
just theory.
you've lived it, and
Mhm.
you can teach people how to use one property that they have, their home, get the equity from the home,
Leverage. Mhm.
leverage that equity, and that's what we did. I mean, I ended up owning homes in North Dakota, Toronto, Canada, 2, 3 apartment buildings out there in
Leverage.
Tennessee, and that came from the very first property that I bought in Springfield. Many years ago in 1989, I bought my very first property for $145,000. And when I got the equity, I rented that property and purchased this one. Okay,
Mm.
because rental also is considered 75% of that comes as income.
Mhm.
So you get that and you purchase the property in which you're in. The property in which you're in plus the property that you've rented, they all have equity. You can leverage that equity to purchase another one. And so wealth is built systematically, slowly, or sometimes exponentially.
Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I love it. So not only do you have the insight on helping us live our best lives from the inside out, you can also, when you're coaching, and this is what makes you all round and fantastic as a coach,
Okay.
because you're working on our inside out, and then you can also speak on investment, you can speak on real estate, you can speak on life insurance, leveraging life insurance products so that you can live your best life. Not so that you can leave your money for somebody to fight over, so that you can live your best life when you are on this earth, because that's what you were built for.
Absolutely, absolutely. Life is pleasant, and life could be as pleasant as you make it. One of the things that I describe money is what you use to pay for the experience that you want to have on earth. So if you want to have a good experience, then work for money and use the money to get the experience. You want to travel first class, you use the money to travel first class. You have money and you want to go by coach or train or whatever, you can do that too. You use it for the experience. And real estate is one of the ways in which you can is there an easy
Get that
way
experience.
in which you could get that life experience. So
Yeah.
that's my spiel right here. I love investing in real estate. But here's the thing I would say to people though, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, invest in personal growth, invest.
And elaborate just a little bit. When you say invest in yourself, we're talking about personal growth. We're talking about buy some books, read. Take a coaching class. Look at podcasts. I mean, whatever it is, job, career you're doing, learn everything you can about it. Be the knowledge broker for whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I would say there, I always tell my clients, look at the people that you have in your life. Do you have a good financial advisor? That's number one. You need that. Do you have a good coach, a personal development, professional development coach? You need that. You need a very good, experienced doctor in your life. You need a good accountant in order to help you to get, and there are accountants and there are accountants. Some of them don't know which way is up, and they cause you to lose a lot of money when they're filing your taxes. The other thing that people don't think about is having people in your life who, a good mentor, but having people in your life who have more than you or the same as you in terms of money. Because if you're surrounding yourself with people who always want to get from you, and when you need $100,000, $200,000, you always have to go to the bank and submit to the bank rules
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
regulations. You're in trouble because the
You're in
bank, it takes a
trouble.
long time for the bank to lend you money. So, but if I have a friend like Nancy, who I can say, Nancy, I need $25,000. Look, I don't know how I'm going to pay you back, when I'm going to pay you back, but I'll pay you back. You know, I'm good for my word. Nancy says, where should I send it? And you know, we're not going to use Cash App. We're going to send it.
No.
She is going to Venmo it or sell it
Sell,
to me,
sell,
and
sell,
then
sell.
I can get to do what I want to do. And I said, okay, Nancy, I see this property out there. It is going to bring you a 12.5% ROI. It's going to give me 25 in total. Lend me that $50,000. I will invest the money, and your cut will be 12.5% of your $50,000, right?
Right.
So we need to have people in our lives who we can align ourselves with, who can help us to be able to get where we're going, rather than have people who are taking from us, and they can't really help us to get where we're going. Yes, we will help the poor and the needy. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
but we
no,
need to be in
but we need
different
to
rooms.
have different. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
because like I tell people, and a lot of people, they're just vain. They want to think that they're the brain in the room. And they walk in the room and they put their brain on the table. Like, if you're smart, you don't have to put your brain on the table. You just walk in the room and people know, right? And
Yeah.
what I say is, I want to be in the room where I'm looking up to people and not the room where everybody's looking up to me. Because in that room, I can't learn.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can learn. I'm not getting anything because everybody's looking up to me. So for me, I'm in the room where people are looking. I'm looking up to them, and I'm gonna bring this full circle. We started about transformational, and then we went to real estate and life insurance, and now I have one last question for you, Dr. Maureen.
Mm-hmm.
Being a coach for over 2 decades, what evolving needs are you seeing in Christian women in the workforce today?
That's a very good question. The need I see is for people to be authentic.
Mm.
Authenticity, because unless we are our authentic self, we're living somebody else's life, and we can't. We
Right.
shouldn't be comparing ourselves with others. The fact that we are looking at others to see what they are doing so that we can sort of mirror and match, no. I think we need to be authentic. And what I mean by that is to know who we are and to not be afraid to let who we are shine out, because there's only one version of ourselves.
Mhm.
There's no carbon copy. There might be people who are doing similar things, but not the way we're doing it.
Right.
And then I would say there is a need for aligning our faith with what we do. Because women are facing, women and men are facing significant challenges, and the wisdom and the insights that emerge from the challenges that we have faced causes us to be authentic, will allow us to be authentic if we will share, if we will live those, if we will live those. So, like I say, for example, in Transforming Pain into Purpose, which is a series of the journey of metamorphosis that people go through, it offers solace and a map for those who are seeking to transmute their pain into a driving force. I find that women are looking for a way to be able to share their stories and to be able to bring meaning, to live a life of meaning, and also to help people to find meaning in their lives. And they do that by being authentic and living their faith.
Well, I thank you very much for all that information. And we have to have a part two because it was not enough time for all the information. Thank you so much, Dr. Maureen, for visiting us here on the Alert Factor. You have been watching the Alert Factor with Nancy Allard. We're here every Wednesday from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will see you next week, same time on the Alert Factor.
It's been a pleasure.